All right, guys, crazy last couple days in crypto. It's kind of funny because Bitcoin hit all-time high, $125,000 a couple days ago. I didn't even know it happened. Like, it really didn't even make the news. Didn't make CNBC. Really, I never got any notifications or anything like that. I didn't even know because apparently Bitcoin hit 125, then went back down to 123, and I'm like, okay, we're at like 123. Then I'm watching like a YouTube video and they're talking about how we hit 125 and we got rejected. Okay, so now we're back up to 125. All-time high for Bitcoin, 125,521. We're pretty much right back at all-time high. This is what we want to see, guys. We want to see Bitcoin hit all-time high, get rejected, then come right back up. That means Bitcoin is going to blow past 125, in my opinion. I think we have arrived as far as Bitcoin. Could see like a $130,000, $140,000 Bitcoin before the Bitcoin dominance starts to get sucked out of Bitcoin and go into these altcoins. Remember, this is how it usually goes. Bitcoin dominance goes up. Bitcoin dominance goes up because Bitcoin has to make its new all-time high. When that happens, your altcoins are not going to make their all-time highs. That's kind of where we're at right now. I think Bitcoin dominance went up to like 59 or something like that, almost 60. Now Bitcoin dominance is around 58. And we're probably going to get like a 130. I mean, we could level out on Bitcoin right now at like 125, and then these alts might start pumping because you're already seeing XRP back over $3. I mean, BNB is up 5%, $1,200. Solana's back up to 235. Cardano pushing back up to 88 cents again. But what I really think is going to happen, we're going to have a few more days, maybe another week of Bitcoin trying to blow past 125. Make some crazy numbers. Maybe Bitcoin will pump like $5,000 in the night or something like that. Get up to 130, 135, and then you're going to see these altcoins go up as the dominance comes out of Bitcoin. This is exactly how it has to happen for Bitcoin and altcoins to have their run. We always knew it, even if you listen to Benjamin Cowan over the last couple of weeks. When Bitcoin dumped back down to 110, 112, whatever it was, we knew that dominance was going to have to get sucked out of these altcoins for Bitcoin to make it back up. There's just not enough money. The money has to come from somewhere, and the money comes from altcoins. So people take their money out of altcoins, they go into Bitcoin. Bitcoin will make its high wherever it is going to level out. People are going to take their money out of Bitcoin, and then they're going to get altcoins. And we're also going to be in a situation where your CNBCs and all the retail money is going to start coming in, and then they're also going to get into the altcoins. And then we should be in that parabolic phase for alt season. I think October is going to be amazing. I think we're getting a $2 Cardano this month, no question about it. I think we're getting a $4 XRP this month. Again, these are just all my opinions. I could be wrong. Who freaking knows? Maybe this month will end up being horrible. But as of right now, it's really, really good. And like I always say, we have a timing issue, so this all has to happen within the next couple months. And there's plenty of time left. There's plenty of time. We have another 3 months to have an amazing alt season. All right, I thought this is really good. I saw that Charles Hoskinson did an interview with Rand Neuner. As you guys know, Rand Neuner hates Charles Hoskinson. Rand Neuner does not like Cardano. And it's nice to see that they kind of buried the hatchet, so to speak, when they were at this convention, and where it was, Singapore or wherever the hell it was. So I want to play a little bit of that. It's really short. Charles Hoskinson is one of the shortest interviews because Rand Neuner just does not like Cardano. But I think for one, it's nice to see that we're going into this alt season, and we really don't want these big YouTubers like Rand Neuner shitting on Cardano because like it or not, these markets are all about hype. So when new people are coming into crypto and they go on Crypto Banter's channel, who's a channel with 1 million subscribers, you really don't want him shitting on Cardano. And I think I think he might not talk about Cardano a lot, but I don't think he's going to be shitting on it anymore. And that's kind of what we want to see. Play a little bit of that interview. I just found this gave me that little warm and fuzzy feeling inside to see that Charles Hoskinson is back in the good graces with Crypto Rand.
A big crowd around us, and that's because Charles is here. Now, Charles, I gotta say, when they reached out to me and said, "You're meeting Charles at 2 o'clock," I was like, "Charles Hoskinson?" I didn't believe it. I really didn't believe that the two of us would sit down and do another interview.
Well, I didn't believe it either. My PR people didn't know about our beef. So they scheduled it, and I saw you on the list. I said, all right, we got to bury the hatchet.
Okay, so, let's talk about the beef. Let's get it out into the open. you're unhappy with me about.
You shit all over Cardano for a long time, you know? And
I did.
Yeah, you did, and it is what it is. But you know what? We're in a new era. Everybody's friends now, you know? Biden's out. We got Trump in. We got Clarity Act being passed. Midnight's dropping to 33 million addresses. We got dropped to Solana, Ethereum, Avalanche, Bitcoin, Cardano. So it's water over the dam, you know? You can't hate people forever. It's like the past in the past. Every 2-3 years we get a reset in the market.
So let's say this. I want to just be clear and honest. Like I have nothing against you. In fact, I think you're one of the smartest people I've ever met, and I've always said that. I think you're intellectual in many fields, not only in blockchain, but in many, many fields, and I have huge respect for you. I think the one place where I did maybe have some beef is I saw Cardano valued at a lot of money, and I just couldn't understand why it was valued at so much money. It's such high valuations, and that was where my disconnect.
Well, I couldn't understand why Luna was valued at so much money. So you know, sometimes we win some, sometimes we lose.
I mean, that's like the perfect comeback right there. Rand Nooner talking about how is Cardano worth so much money? Meanwhile, Rand Nooner was shilling shilling Terra Luna for years, which was basically the biggest Ponzi scheme in crypto. He was also shilling FTX as well, and then of course they all go to zero. I mean, honestly, the only thing that Rand Nooner really got right on was that Solana came back this cycle, and it only came back because all of these big YouTubers and big funds decided to shill the fuck out of it. But yeah, anyway, this is really good to see them together. You know, I really think this is good. Maybe we'll see like another card. Maybe we'll see like Charles Hoskinson going on Crypto Banter show maybe in like a month or two when Cardano's up to like $2 or $3. That might help Cardano get a last leg pump, maybe to $4 or $5. Who knows? Maybe to $4 or $5 before the end of the cycle. Everything looking good, guys. And I don't know. That made me. It made me feel good that they kind of like reconciled. Here's some Cardano news. Coinbase's Cardano reserves surge 462% as XRP holdings decline. Coinbase Cardano reserves have risen 462% to 9.56 million in just 4 months. XRP reserves at Coinbase have dropped 98%, falling from 97 to 99 million. The surge in Cardano's reserve points to growing interest in institutional interest and adoption. Coinbase's XRP reserve decline signals reduced institutional demand for the digital asset. Okay, so here's how I read this. And look, we have to use some common sense on this. I've been talking about XRP since it was 25 cents. You guys know that. Selling XRP right now at $3 would be very smart. I probably should sell XRP right now at $3. Why should I sell XRP right now at $3? Because XRP has already had most of its pump. You can't deny that. We're at a $3 XRP. A lot of the institutions already came in. A lot of the retail already came in on XRP. I do think we're going to get a $4 or $5 XRP. For me, I'll be selling my XRP at $4, maybe a little bit under $4. But the reason there's more institutional interest in Cardano right now is quite simply because Cardano has not had its pump yet. If Cardano was like $3 right now, you know, I think that article would probably be in the reverse, just like with XRP. The institutional investors are looking right now for good quality projects that have a lot more room to go in the next 2 or 3 months. Cardano always does this. It's one of the last coins to pump, but it pumps really, really big. So I think in the next couple months, you're going to see a lot more articles like that. There's no question in my mind at this point, you know, Cardano is going to be outperforming XRP because XRP will probably get to $4, maybe $5, but Cardano's at 87 cents and Cardano could get to $5. So obviously, in my opinion, there's more room to go for Cardano. They're both good projects. I don't have a problem with any of them. XRP just pumped first, and now you're seeing a lot of this institutional money getting back into XRP. You could see the same thing with Solana. Solana already had most of its pump as well. Yeah, maybe Solana will get the $400 or $500. It's possible, but if you bought Solana at $12, you know, last year or a year and a half ago, obviously that was most of the pump. So that's kind of how I take that one. Either way, XRP, Cardano, both good projects. You just have to basically look at it and say, look, XRP is not going to $10. It's not going to $15. It's already had most of its pump. It might get $4 or $5, which is phenomenal. 25 cents to $5 is phenomenal. But Cardano has more room to go right now than XRP. And you're seeing that with the institutional adoption numbers. Crypto funds smash record with 5.95 billion inflows amid shutdown concerns. Yep, crypto ETFs posted a record $95 billion of inflows last week, with Bitcoin leading the gains, recording a record $3.6 billion in inflows amid concerns about the U.S. government shutdown. Again, I talked about this last video. I don't think it has anything to do with the government shutdown. I just think, September's usually bearish, October's usually bullish. Now we're in October, and Bitcoin's going to do what it's going to do. The mainstream media and these articles will always try to make a story into the narrative as to what's happening right now. If there's an alien spacecraft spotted in Brazil and that becomes national news for a couple of days, that's going to be the cause of Bitcoin going up or down. Whatever Bitcoin does, if it goes up, they're going to say alien spacecraft. People are losing faith in the U.S. dollars because there's aliens, so people are going into Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down, they're going to say alien spacecraft. People are scared out of Bitcoin. Like, they basically just make up the narrative for whatever's going on in the world. But the fact is, we ignore all that on this channel, and we just follow the 4-year cycles. And the 4-year cycles are lining up 100%. So, also want to talk about, another reason I was, as you guys know, I'm a big holder in Theta, and Theta is really big in the AI. I've been doing a lot of research on Theta lately, just kind of getting in deep of what's going on with Theta. And the one reason I really am sticking with Theta, I've been doing a lot of research about AI. They're all saying AI is going to take over the world. AI is going to take over a lot of jobs, which it is. You're seeing a lot of these tech layoffs, customer service layoffs. A lot of these big AI people think within the next year, 80% of all tech jobs are going to go away. 100% of all customer service jobs are going to go away. And then within the next 5 or 10 years, they're going to have robot plumbers, electricians, things like that. I believe all that. I think that's coming. And that's why you want to be heavily invested in projects that are working on AI. If you see here, Theta Edge Cloud ushering in a new era of AI computing. It looks like from my research that AI is one of the main things that Theta is trying to be a part of right now. They have a bunch of partnerships with AI companies. And if you watch the AMAs regarding Theta, they're always talking about AI. So I think, like I said before, Theta is going to do very well this cycle. I know back in this time last year, Theta went from 50 cents to $3 within 2 weeks. I think right now with Theta at like 70 or 80 cents, I think we're probably going to get a $5 to $10 Theta, most likely in the next couple months. All right, guys, let's see if there's anything else here. The weird thing is, like on CNBC right now, with Bitcoin at $125,000. Oh, look, they're talking. Everything's AI right now. There's like AI nonstop on CNBC. But with Bitcoin at $125,000, you're not really seeing a lot of story. You're not seeing any stories talking about Bitcoin being at all-time highs. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that the mainstream media doesn't want more people flowing into Bitcoin right now? Are they trying to control the narrative because they want to give people time to get in before they come out with a headline saying Bitcoin is back up to all-time high? I don't know. There's something sneaky going on with CNBC, but regardless, I think there's a lot more room to go on Bitcoin. My original prediction of $150,000 still stands. I think that's probably what we're going to top out at. Maybe we'll get to 160 or something like that. But what we're going to see now is a lot of these altcoins playing catch-up, in my opinion, like Dogecoin, for example, Cardano, Theta. A lot of these lower level, like VeChain, things like that. You're going to see a lot of these lower level coins start to catch up, in my personal opinion, over the next couple weeks. I know I've said that before. I know the price action's been kind of weird. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, but if you just line things up the previous cycle and you also factor in that we only have a couple more months left really in this cycle, it kind of has to happen very soon. Like something big with altcoins has to happen in October, and hopefully it continues into November, and then by December things start to kind of wind down and we'll be selling our cryptos. But as I said, I'm more bullish than ever. Things are looking great. I'm happy. You guys should all be happy. We've been waiting a long time for this, and let's just keep our fingers crossed and hopefully nothing fucks it up. All right, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.